Hello and welcome everybody to Silverstone. We are here at this very historic circuit for round 4 of season 3 in HSRL. The skies are looking marvellous at the moment. It is very dry conditions and a very warm weekend here, one of the warmest weekends on record this year so far. This is going to be an absolute belter of a race. We have got an insanely tight packed grid and there could be a challenge for the win, and Jack's 4th win in a row into the start of season 3 could be held as a threat. Here we go then. So the last race was season 2 round 3 and it was also on the calendar season 1 round 4. It's going back to round 4 for this season, and this is going to be one of the best races in HSRL history potentially, and we could potentially have an unexpected winner. Here are the tyres then. We are using the C4, C3 and C2, and no threat of rain, so the inners and wets are irrelevant here. And for the first time ever in HSRL history, we have got a full racing grid. Thank you to all of the drivers who have showed up for this race. Let's move over then to the starting grid. So I am on pole. It is a Sauber front row lockout with both of the Mercedes having a great qualifying session, especially Wiki up in 3rd. The two Ferraris have got a good session as well. Here we go then. It is 5 red lights for HSRL round 4 season 3 in Britain, and there's a V-car parked weirdly on the grid, but its lights aren't out big. The V-car's already in the middle of the pack. We have got Jack streaking away then. Decent start for the pole sitter. Jaiko's having to defend off Wiki for P3, who's had a decent start. One of the V-cars off in the background a little bit there. So we head now into turn 2, and Jack steadily on has managed to claim the lead from his pole position. The Sauber 1-2 has maintained despite early pressure. Here is Jimmy, and on lap 1 he's had a decent start. He's going around the outside of the Robbo for P5, trying to make up a position on the grid, and through he goes up the inside at turn 3 at Village. It's a lovely move from Jimmy. Robbo holding on to his tyre a little bit, but he'll have the better exit speed. Through he goes, and this is McGrory. A little bit of front wing damage there from Jake Williams. That will not help his performance. And through goes Hurls on his debut for McLaren, McGrory's teammate for this race only, because of the new lineups which have been confirmed for the next weekend in Monaco, which will see more realistic lineups from the driver's true pace. And McGrory really getting involved in the action here. We've got a battle between Omar and a Haas up ahead, and McGrory slots in there behind Jake. And here we go then, further on lap 1. This is Lewis Stevo that we're on board with now, and he's had a pretty poor start, but he's made up the places back again on lap 1, and he is stuck behind the amp at the moment. So here is the replay from Jack's perspective here off his start. So let's have a look. So the championship leader and 2-time HSRL champion is a great launch off the grid, which we are accustomed to seeing from Hype's highlights, and which is very disappointing that they're not here, but I am hopefully going to be doing a decent job here. So this is on board with the Stevo, and as we can see, as I mentioned earlier, he had a really poor start and he's dropping places here. The Haas on the outside, Jake got passed on the inside, through goes the other Williams of James, who had a great start in the Williams, and he will eventually get to P7. But Steve, yeah, bogged down on the start, and look at this, 4 wide barging and bashing going on between most of the drivers. Don't know how they've managed to keep it clean. We did see a bit of end plate going from Jake, and here we are then with James in the Williams on board. So as you can see, there's the Haas of Alton on the outside and James on the inside, and off goes Omar. That was the V-car we saw going off earlier. And now into turn 2. Here comes the huge contact moment as James goes through on all of them, and down the inside he goes on the amp. A little bit of contact, Robbo and Jimmy ahead. We've seen that battle earlier on, and it's a great start for James, who's up to points in a brilliant points position. And here is Jimmy. This is lap 2. He is having a great fight here with Glitzy for P4. He desperately wants to get this place to stay within DRS of the 3 leading drivers to potentially have a shot of a podium. And here comes Jimmy then, down the inside on Glitzy. It's a brilliant move, and through he goes into 4th, but they're still side by side. He's going to have to go the long way around. It's not over yet. Glitzy is hanging in the Ferrari. He's not giving up for a fight, but around the outside goes Jimmy on the run to Cops. And here, later on lap 2, we've got a moment with McGrory. Down the inside he goes, and Alton in the Haas, who's also in his debut weekend, who has a brilliant switchback on McGrory, who goes deep as usual. That'll be probably the additional weight in his car. Anyway, as we go on to lap number 3, we have got James, who's now in P6, who's overtook the Robbo off camera, and he's trying to go through on Epic Pug. Will he do what Jimmy done on Epic Pug? Yes, he will. Down the inside, Pug doesn't defend it, and James might have the position, but just like previously, Pug has learned from the previous move and is hanging it around the outside. Let's see what will happen then as we head down the Hangar Straight, or the Wellington Straight, whatever straight this is, into this corner, and James forces Glitzy a little bit wide, but he had the corner, so that is perfectly fair. Glitzy back down the inside again, and this is brilliant fighting. Will it go to Cops? It probably might. They have lost touch with Jimmy ahead, and this is exactly how the front four managed to get escape from the rest of the pack. And round the other side goes James at Cops. A little bit of barging, no big moment. So, and here comes the Robbo getting involved in the fight, just like he normally does. And now we're on board with Steve-O as we cut to him. And Robbo gets forced wide a little bit. Through goes to Steve-O at Maggots and Beckett's. Wow. And then lap 3 here. So this is going up there. I think this is a hanger straight. And Jaiko goes through. Jaiko takes the lead of the Grand Prix. The Saubers working together to control and orchestrate the top 4 here in this terrain. As we head into the final chicane breaking point. Oh, Wiki's locked up. And he's hit Jack's rear. That cost him loads of time. Wiki's got damage. And through goes Jimmy into 3rd from 6th on the grid. And lap 5 now we are on. Alright, so we are now on board with James, who has accumulated a 3-second time penalty, which will not help his performance whatsoever, but he is still trying to muster up a move on the Steve-O. Round the outside, he gets it before the corner, in the DRS, with the ERS deployed. Great move there for James. Now we head back to the Steve-O. Lap 6 we're on now. And James and Omar having a scrap ahead. AMP goes wide. Into the pit lane comes James. AMP goes defensive. Lewis goes round the outside at the final chicane. And he's done it. Wow, but no he's not. Because AMP is still there, as you can see with the red arrow. He's not giving up. He's keeping it round the outside. He has. He's got a better exit. Here comes the AMP into turn 1. The former teammates of Season 2 Aston Martin. Now in their new rides in Alpine and Ferrari for this race, and then go obviously to the realistic lineups. Here we go then. So pit lane for Jack. He is the first of the leaders to box along with Wiki, and out comes Jack here. He has a moment here with Akio, who's not pit, and he might be the cause of a safety car later on. But here we go, lap 11 with Henry McGroy somehow up here with Steve-O. I've got no idea. Contact. And McGroy's lost his end plate. Well. We could always see that one coming at some point during this race. Oh, and there's the safety car. There's where Akio took out the diddler. The safety car changes the entire perspective of this race now, because this means that the pack will bunch up again. And while Jack thought he had the lead by the 2-second gap that he broke to the guys after his pit stop, that has been all undone due to the safety car. And the battle is back on for the lead of this race in Britain, with most of the Brits in the top 10 as well. As an additional wee fact. And here we go then. There's a big moment of avoidance there from one of the AIs. That is John Hutchins, who's been lapped somehow, probably eating too many pies. And Steve-O now on the back of hyped in the Aston Martin. And down the inside he goes. A very opportunistic move, which we have seen time and time again this weekend. Here we go then, on to the hanger straight on lap 16. 3 laps to go only. And this is James, who's got a 6-second time penalty. And he is fighting Omar, who he's now got damage off of, trying to go around the outside. And, oh no! Something is broke on James' car. Surely a problem as we head onto lap 18. It's the final couple of corners. Here comes Jack on the inside. And Jack, oh, and there's contact. They've collided again like they did in Austria. The tensions will be boiling over at Sauber. And someone might be out the front door. But Jimmy is put in the prime position here to win this Grand Prix in the dying moments. And he's done it because Jack has accumulated a penalty. Here are the final race results. That was a very dramatic ending to this brilliant British Grand Prix, which sees Jimmy become the second multiple race winner in HSRL history, only after Jack. And you can pause to look at the results here. Here are the standings after Season 3 Round 4 Britain. And here are the bottom half of the standings. And here are the constructor standings. I don't know why Cadillac Ferrari are in there. And here is just a weird ass thing. Goodbye.